wow, look at this. Supreme Court, most crucial election issue. We haven't heard anything about that until the last week. But, and now it's become the most crucial issue.
Mm-hmm.
Is that accurate? Is it the most crucial issue?
Probably the most crucial issue right now. But, there's still.
Well, then that's a no-brainer. Trump wins that. Trump wins that issue going away.
Among conservatives, yeah.
Which is, he just needs to fire up his base. So
yeah,
he's going to do that in spades. And vice versa. If he didn't, he would. That's what I think is at risk for him. If he doesn't do anything, he just needs to nominate, let him take it to the vote, and if they can stop him in the Senate, stop him in the Senate. The end. That's how it works. That's how the machine rolls. Like it, love it, hate it. McConnell this, McConnell that. We've already established McConnell pulled that out of his butt in 2016. But he stopped him at the Senate, right? Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Unfortunately, the demos can't do that this time around. They're pissed about it. Funny part is they'd be doing exactly the same thing. But
we'd be huffing and puffing about it.
Exactly. No, that's exactly right. That's politics. That's exactly right. We would huff and puff and blow their house down. They would do it. They would run it to the Senate. We would vote it down. And that's just how it would work. Unfortunately, the reason they're pissed is because they don't have the votes. They can't stop it.
No, I'm saying if they had been in the position to ram through a justice.
It's not ramming through. It's not ramming through.
I'm saying after winning an election. Yeah, ramming through might not be the right word.
No, it's executing the
But if they had stalled the process, if they had done everything that Mitch McConnell had done, we'd be angry.
Well, but here's the thing, again, and you've got to go back to the fact that Mitch McConnell had to back up what he said in 2016. He had the votes to do it.
And I'm saying,
and so
if you completely switched, did a role reversal,
right? But here's what I need you to understand. Part of what, he outplayed the game in 2016. It's part of the game, right? He as a conservative didn't want something to happen to put in a liberal justice, and he made that happen. He executed that. In order to do that, he had to both. One, he bluffed, right? He talked out of his bum. That wasn't constitutional. We've established that. We don't agree with that, right? But then he also had to make sure that it happened, that he backed it up, right? The only way he did that was by having the ability to say, okay, fine, in the Senate, we're not going to do it, right? In this case, if the Democrats had the ability to stop it in the Senate, or there was some political way for them to stop it, and they could execute that to block it, that's the way the system works. There's checks and balances at every level of the system. And so if you can execute through the system constitutionally and get it done, then you're not ramming anything through. You're not doing any, you're winning using the system at work. You're right. If it was us, we'd be pissed. But then we'd stop it in the Senate and it'd be like, who cares? See what I'm saying?
I'm saying alternate reality. Where there is a Democrat in office, Democratic Senate.
Well, yeah, we'd complain. That's what we do. That's what everybody does. They just complain.
Do you think they're right to complain?
Yeah, it's politics. They're trying to fire up their base in the same way we are. So yeah, everyone's playing a game. At that level, everyone is playing. It's a big freaking game. They don't take it as seriously as you do. I promise. It's a big game. It's all about power. It's all about money. It's all about greed. It's got nothing to do with the American people. It's got nothing to do with you. They could care less. The Democrats could care less about putting a quality justice in. They want a executioner of their will. They buy judges, and they want their judges to do what they tell them to do. That's why they're mad. They're not mad because think about this. The presidential election at some level is going to be challenged. At some level, it's going to be challenged this year. There's no doubt about it, no matter what happens. What if there's just 8 Supreme Court judges? Because it will go to the Supreme Court if it's challenged. And then you're going to have a duly elected president that was confirmed by what? A 4-4 vote? You can't do, you know what I'm saying? It would be dangerous for us. And part of me says, what if that's kind of the play here? At some level, we know it's going to get, regardless of which way it goes, I'm pretty sure it's going to get challenged at some level. The outcome of the election. So then it would go to the lower courts. Who controls the lower courts? In most cases, it's the left. Not saying, look, I know that's a bit of a stretch, But I'm just saying, what if? Like, you got to think through. In idealism, that none of that matters, right? Like, you can just focus on the concepts of the issue. But in reality, you've got to focus on the real thing. And the real thing is we can't leave an 8-person Supreme Court when the presidential election very well may be challenged and put in the hands of the Supreme Court. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I mean, and so that's all the stuff you have to think through is like, and maybe it's because I don't know. I feel like I've seen enough of the government and the type of people and all that stuff that are that it's like none of this surprises me. None of this is shocking to me. And I still see I still see the idealism in you, which I love because that's how it's supposed to be. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. And so I just, we're just training you up here. What does the Bible say? Train them up in the way they should go. When they're old, they will not depart. There's a reason it says when they're old too, because it's not when they're young. Let me tell you, it just it takes. We all come back around. Let's go to a break.